Hey guys, well I wanted to give you a follow-up video to the Cadillac, an aftermath video. As you can see, I did my duty and it is pretty messed up. But we did manage to pull out a first place finish, so that was pretty darn awesome and put on a good show. So it's a lot of fun, but here you go. So the front end took quite a bit of damage. Once I wasn't able to see out the back anymore, and I was still making some hits with the back end despite only having a little bit of a view spot. Eventually I just started hitting with the front end because I knew that if I could just keep making hits, maybe I could outlast the other guys, and I knew I could see forward, so I just kept doing it. And man, I don't know, this frame took a little bit of abuse, so you can see it's starting to fold a little bit right up in here. And but you can still see there's still a gap there between where the radiator was and the engine. But pretty much the bumper is gone and shot. It's all pushed up underneath, folded down, and the hood went right down there with it with the core support, so it actually helped take some of the hit. We wired it all nice and solid. Let's see, well, we still got room in here between the strut where we had to bend it away from these tires because we had these big mud tires on there and we had to make room for them. We got some cracking of the fiberglass paneling, but actually I thought we got pretty lucky and did a pretty good job of protecting the front side fenders, so that worked out quite well. I'm going to get up here a little bit. Brandon Vitalizer was out there hanging out with us, pretty cool guy, and his friend Jordan. So kind of show you up here, got some good dents. Looks like the fan was pretty well pushed up against the engine. I'm impressed that it's still spinning actually, but it's not cracked or anything. But the radiator, we definitely lost that. Hopefully you guys can kind of see that. It's a little glared. We got the inside, still got this wood slat, not broken because we won, which is pretty cool. Honestly never had that happen before. Got a good share of mud. It was a pretty muddy mess out there, but that's where having the front wheel drive of the Cadillac really helped us out. I was able to get some good traction and still keep tearing it up. So we had our two switches, the fan, electric fuel pump. I just ran a regular column shifter and the key, and that all stayed in place good. Had all the wiring tucked up underneath the garbage bag. Most of that stayed put. We had a few components that actually went flying out, but the car kept running, so apparently those weren't very important. So, which was kind of funny, but I hit someone, I saw a big box of something go flying back. I'm like, well, I guess that wasn't that important. Alright, so we got the back seat here. I'll get you another view from the other side, but as you can see right here, the panels are starting to tear open. My back deck lid is a lot farther into the car than it used to be, because there's the post and there's the back post. It moved in a good 2 feet or so at least. And then that, obviously look at the back door here, that's completely pushed in. But the gas tank is still mostly in place, and as far as we can tell it's not leaking fuel anywhere, so that's a good sign. So in regards to all the driver's side, still looking pretty solid. It still looks somewhat like a car. Until you get to the back end here, we got some rubbing going on here for sure. This wheel is good and pinched and not turning anymore, but that was the idea behind the donuts in the first place. But obviously you can see I did a pretty good job at smashing it in there. Pretty soon on, at least from what I've been told, is that the bumper went down. Eventually it got ripped out, and then I was able to drive around a lot easier because I wasn't really dragging in the mud per se. I was kind of skimming across the surface, so I was able to get moving both front and back and keep on hitting. Gas cap and came open and stuff, which was kind of funny. But so this is actually the hinges for the trunk, and you can see that the trunk actually got completely smashed flat, and then is now up at the same level as the roof. So it's that was a lot of bending going on. Here's the back end. Pretty well messed up. Had a hole in there, but you can see the trunk, which was laying nice and flat, is now vertical and is pretty well just standing right up in the air. Again, even with the roof, even tore the holes, and you can see how far in I bent this post, at least a good 2 feet back farther than it used to be. It's kind of hard to see in the video, so I'll try to show it, but this back axles are completely shifted in. This is squared to the rest of the body, so you can tell that it's completely been pitched about 10 to 20 degrees or so from square to the car. You can see it really bowing down up on that section right there. But the actual frame rails seem to have held up well. It's pretty interesting. Yet over here, there's my part of my bumper shock. It actually completely wrapped in and started facing the other direction, which is pretty interesting. But yeah, there's the rear end, the old taillight bezel area, because you got the old Cadillac out jets that are here. Still not really broken. They just basically folded right up in with the metal. So kind of back up. There's the passenger rear door. It has been pushed in a little bit, to say the least. And I'll kind of give you a better comparison. Right here, there's my driver's seat, and you can see how close that came into me. It wasn't from anyone coming in and actually hitting me in that door. It's just because I kept hitting with the back end and just kept hitting and hitting and hitting, and then that back lid's just the whole back end here just kept coming in, and folded it right down. If you can see right there, that's actually the roof of the car that's been pushed down and started to roll into the car. So my roof is already coming into the car. It's curled around and it's now coming back into the car. So that's pretty awesome. Then it took a couple good hits here in the passenger door. It completely ripped the bottom skin up and pushed it in. This was a stock heat, so we weren't allowed to weld the doors, so there wasn't nothing there holding that together. It just tore it and pushed it right in. So yeah, the body line isn't entirely straight anymore. It's pretty well messed up. But yeah, it was kind of hard to see from this view, but yeah, the roof is actually curling around and going back inside the car. And folding. But again, the front end ended up holding up really good. And then you'll see in the video that I eventually just started using the front end because I couldn't see out the back anymore, and I was just trying to finish them off, and the other cars kept running, so we kept going at it, and eventually I was the last car running. I don't know how, but somehow it kept running. So we're gonna get it, try to get it fired up here. It was still running at the end of the heat. I shut it off and then I couldn't get the restart, but we're gonna see if we can get it to start up here this morning and get it off the trailer, and maybe at that point I'll try to get some more video footage for you guys. But there you go. There's the aftermath of the Cadillac. It did a really good job. It held up against some Imperials, some big old Oldsmobile wagons, and just some regular Crown Vics and everything. And this thing was the last one running. It just kept driving. Front wheel drive, V8. Just kept tugging this back end all around the mud, pushing it back and forth, and I was able to keep going. So there you go, guys. You know, you don't have to have the most expensive, nicest car to pull out a win. $350 Cadillac, and we won first. So there you go, aftermath of the Cadillac. Look forward to finding the video on YouTube. You'll have to check it out. Maybe I'll try to get a link posted in this video. And till the next video, I'll talk to you later, guys.